What if the most enigmatic prophecies in the Bible were about to unfold right before our eyes? Imagine a book sealed for centuries, holding secrets that could change the course of human history. This book is Daniel, one of the most mysterious and fascinating texts in the Holy Scriptures. Written during the Babylonian exile, the book of Daniel contains complex prophecies, often impenetrable, and for a long time they were seen as riddles. But what lies hidden within these texts? Are they just empty words, or is there something greater behind them? Something we may now be starting to understand. In this video, we will explore 3 prophecies from Daniel that seem to be coming to fruition in today's world. What does this mean for the future? Are we witnessing the fulfillment of events predicted millennia ago? Get ready, because the 3rd prophecy we'll examine may be the most shocking evidence of all. Stay with us, hit the like button, and let's uncover this secret that may be about to be revealed. Who was Daniel? A young Jew taken captive to Babylon, Daniel lived during a time of great turmoil and change. When the Babylonian Empire conquered Jerusalem, he was taken along with other princes and nobles from the land. There, he stood out for his wisdom and faithfulness to God, quickly earning the respect of King Nebuchadnezzar. It was during his time in the Babylonian court that Daniel received extraordinary revelations, visions speaking of future kingdoms, powerful and destructive ones, that would affect the fate of humanity. These visions were not merely a reflection of what Daniel was experiencing, but a profound glimpse into events yet to come, all the way to the end of time. The book of Daniel, therefore, is not just a historical account, but a prophecy filled with symbols and codes, many of which remain enigmatic. In Daniel 12:4, it is said that the book would remain sealed until the time of the end, a moment when hidden knowledge would be revealed. Daniel's visions, ranging from the fall of empires to the arrival of an eternal kingdom, profoundly influenced Christian eschatology, helping to shape the understanding of what the end of days would be like. The powerful imagery and events described by Daniel laid the foundation for many interpretations about the future of humanity and God's role in fulfilling these prophecies. In his most famous vision, Daniel saw a giant statue erected before Nebuchadnezzar, representing 4 successive empires. Each part of the statue, the head of gold, the chest and arms of silver, the belly and thighs of bronze, and the legs of iron, symbolized an empire that would dominate the world in different eras. The Babylonian Empire, represented by the head of gold, was just the beginning of a series of reigns that, according to Daniel, would culminate in the end of days. The eschatological interpretation of this vision suggests that after the fall of these empires, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome, a final empire would emerge, a unified world government. This last empire, described as a mixture of iron and clay, would be marked by the attempt to unite nations and peoples into a powerful political and economic force, but with internal fragility. Daniel describes this global empire as not lasting, being destroyed by a stone that comes from heaven, representing the kingdom of God. This event will mark the end of history as we know it, and the establishment of an eternal and just kingdom. The modern scenario seems to align with this prophecy. The growing globalization, the formation of economic blocs like the European Union, and the centralization of power in international organizations such as the United Nations and the World Bank are some of the characteristics that resemble Daniel's vision. Political figures and world leaders calling for a single global government, like the World Economic Forum, which seeks global solutions for economic and environmental crises, are seen by some as the precursors of this final empire. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, the question remains, are we on the verge of the fulfillment of this prophecy as we move toward a new world government, or is there more to come? In Daniel 7, the prophet describes a vision of 4 great beasts representing the 4 empires mentioned earlier. However, there is a 5th figure that stands out, a little horn that arises from among the 10 horns of one of the beasts, symbolizing a final leader who will challenge God and rule the world. This leader, whom some interpret as the Antichrist, will be marked by his audacity and blasphemy against the Most High. Daniel 11 also provides a detailed description of this final ruler who will rise amid great political and social confusion. He will be a charismatic leader, a man of great power and skill who will seduce the nations with his rhetoric and promises of peace and prosperity. However, his true nature will be that of a deceiver, someone who will use his influence to attack and destroy those who remain faithful to God. By comparing these visions with other biblical passages, we find more clues about the Antichrist. In 2 Thessalonians 2, Paul speaks of the man of sin who will exalt himself above everything that is called God and proclaim himself as God. In Revelation 13, we see a world leader who will receive power from the dragon, representing Satan, and exercise authority over all nations, forcing everyone to worship the beast and accept the mark of his empire. In today's world, the rise of such a powerful and deceptive leader may seem unlikely, but the conditions of the modern world provide fertile ground for this possibility. Globalization, the growing interdependence of nations, and the centralization of power in the hands of a few political and corporate figures could facilitate the rise of an authoritarian ruler. Additionally, the use of technology and information manipulation could be a crucial tool for the Antichrist, allowing him to control the masses and deceive those seeking answers. Popular theories about the identity of the Antichrist include prominent political and business figures whose actions and rhetoric reflect a pursuit of global power and control. Some point to the growing influence of organizations like the UN, while others suggest he may emerge from a new alliance of international leaders. The truth is that whether in the past or the future, the figure of the Antichrist is a threat that has always loomed over humanity, waiting for the moment of its manifestation. In Daniel 7:23-25, the prophet describes a powerful and oppressive government that will devour the whole earth. This government will not only dominate the nations, but it will also seek to destroy any trace of individual freedom and truth. It will be relentless in its pursuit of total control, overriding laws, norms, and even morality itself. The horn that rises from this empire is dedicated to eradicating faith and freedom, persecuting the righteous, and trying to transform truth into something relative and manipulable. This vision from Daniel directly connects with the descriptions in Revelation the 3rd, where the beast system emerges, a totalitarian regime that imposes a new world order. The mark of the beast, which controls commerce and the survival of people, represents a form of absolute control, where nothing can be done without the permission of this government. The biblical text suggests that this system will take advantage of technology to track, control, and manipulate the global population. In today's world, we see technological advances that seem to facilitate the implementation of such control. The rise of digital currencies like Bitcoin and other centralized cryptocurrencies raises questions about the creation of a global currency controlled by a few, where all economic aspects would be monitored. Artificial intelligence, in turn, is already being used to monitor behavior, predict actions, and even control the flow of information. Digital censorship, which has become common in various parts of the world, also shows how truths can be shaped or suppressed according to political or ideological interests. Examples can already be seen in governments that strictly control information, such as the repression of independent media in some nations, or the growing control of large tech corporations over what can be said and accessed on the internet. The trade of personal data and the constant monitoring of digital life are other signs that a totalitarian control system may be in the making. What can we expect in the coming years? With the advancement of technologies and the growing centralization of power, it is possible that the prophecies of Daniel and Revelation will be fulfilled in unexpected ways. The struggle for freedom and truth may intensify, but at the same time, the reality of a global control system may become an increasingly tangible presence. Recapping the 3 prophecies of Daniel, we see a scenario that unfolds with striking similarity to our modern world. A unified global empire, a final ruler, and the absolute control of the masses. Did the Bible really predict our time? The evidence seems to point to a progressive fulfillment of these visions, revealing a future we cannot ignore. How can we prepare for what is to come? The key is to stay vigilant, seek the truth, and strengthen our faith. For what lies ahead may be more challenging than we imagine. Are we on the brink of the complete fulfillment of these prophecies? What we've seen so far is a clear warning that times are changing and history may be about to unfold before our eyes. Now is the time to deepen our study of the Scriptures and understand eschatology, for what's coming could be decisive. Don't stay on the sidelines. Seek to learn more and prepare for the future. Subscribe to the channel for more content on biblical prophecies. Share this video and leave your comment on what you think of these revelations.